What's up guys, Seth here with fishingonline.com. Today we're going to go through how to set up a YakAttack CellBlok. There's a lot of parts involved with this. It may seem a little overwhelming to some of you guys sometimes, but we're going to take it step by step and we're going to get one put together. So what will you need to put together a YakAttack CellBlok? You'll need your YakAttack CellBlok battery box, an 18-inch transducer deployment arm, a 1-inch ball base, a 1.5-inch ball base. We have a Lowrance Elite 4 HDI fish finder, so we got the YakAttack Ram fish finder mount for that fish finder. The tools you'll need are some wire strippers, a screwdriver, and a drill with a 3/16 drill bit. 2 disconnect wire connectors and 1 butt splice wire connector. The first thing we did was we assembled the CellBlok itself. We did that by putting on the 2 side walls with the 4 screws they came with, just with a regular screwdriver. The back wall just slides in through the slots, like so. The next step is to determine how you want to position your CellBlok on your kayak, whether you want it on the left or the right. Say the edge of this table is the edge of your kayak, and I'm sitting down facing it this way. You would want the wire wraps to be on the outside. That way you have a nice smooth surface on the inside, so that way when your lid's on, the track on the lid and the track on the bottom line up. That way the front panel can just slide right in. And this way you have a nice flat surface facing the inside of your kayak, nothing gets snagged on it, and all the wires are facing on the outside. Once you have the position determined, you can then line up your ram balls on the lid itself. Now you want the 1.5-inch ball on the front. So again, if we're sitting facing this 1.5-inch ball is going to have your fish finder on it. The 1-inch ball is for the transducer arm. Once you figure out where you're going to put the 1.5-inch ball for the fish finder, on the back side of the lid, there's some pre-set holes here. Now these line up with these ram ball mounts. So what I did was I actually had this ball mount and I lined it up on the back here just to see which holes we were going to use, because you actually have to drill these holes out. Once you drill these holes out, the CellBlok itself comes with nuts that actually fit down in these holes nice and snug. You just pop them down in there, and then the ram balls, you'll line it up on the correct side, screw it down, get them all nice and snug, and then just make sure it lines up with how you want it and looks good. Once you got the lid in place, you can screw it down with the 4 screws that it comes with. And that's the CellBlok all assembled with the ram balls on top of it. The next step is to put the knobs onto the T-bolts so that you can put the CellBlok on the gear track. Next step is to attach the Fishfinder mount itself to the 1.5-inch ball on top. Just like that. The next step was to put together the transducer arm. This one we already pre-assembled, but what we started with was we attached this ram screw part to this top. Underneath there's the metal bar. Now it wasn't bent before, but we'll get that in a minute. We attach this top piece to here, put this plastic tubing on over the bar, then attach the bottom bracket. Take the transducer itself and bolt it on down at the bottom, and run the cable up along the arm, and attach zip ties to keep it all nice and snug and put together. So next we're going to take a look at the wiring for the Lowrance fish finders. They're nice and color-coded. You got red for power, blue for your sonar. Those will just screw right into the back of the fish finder itself. The one cable that's coming out of it that has 5 smaller cables, you could heat shrink wrap it or just use electrical tape and discard. You can just set it off to the side. The main wire you have to work with is the one that has 3 wires coming out of it, yellow, red, and black. The yellow you can just heat shrink wrap, electrical tape, push it off to the side. The black you want to crimp on a quick disconnect. You could heat shrink wrap it if you'd like, or just use electrical tape. The red, the main power wire, the Lowrance gives you an inline fuse. It has a 3-amp fuse in there. You'll use the butt disconnect, you crimp that on, again heat shrink wrap, electrical tape, and then on the end crimp the other quick disconnect. Alright, so once you have the transducer arm assembled, you can go ahead and throw it on the CellBlok. Now yours won't be bent yet, But you want to make sure the transducer is facing in towards the fish finder like this when it's hanging off the side. You'll take the ram mount, put it on the 1-inch ball, and just tighten it down. Once you tighten down the transducer arm onto the 1-inch ball, you can take the unit out to your kayak and then bend the arm down and get a good angle. The next thing you can do is you can take the fish finder itself and put it on the fish finder mount. Lowrance, you have to pull up on this and snap it in. So take your transducer cable and wrap it around the wire wraps so that you have it nice snug. Give yourself a little bit of room to still plug it into the fish finder. But you'll wrap it up nice and neat, and then you can zip tie those together. Alright, the same way we wrapped the transducer cable, we're going to do for the power cable as well. You can go ahead and plug them in the back of your unit. Give yourself a little bit of room to work with. So the next part is to throw in your battery. The CellBlok will hold 7 or 9 amp batteries. This is a 9 amp 12 volt. Just go ahead and throw it in there. Well, kind of keep it half out. You can connect your cables now. Just snap them on like that. Push this in, get your door, thread it into the threads. Now what we did is we cut a little notch in the side here, so that way whenever you have your cables, they fit in that notch nice and snug. That way when you close the door, everything fits all nice and neat. And that's it. Should be able to turn your unit on. So that's it. That's the CellBlok unit all put together. You're ready to throw it on your yak, go out, and try to catch some fish. All these products are available on fishingonline.com, so go ahead and check that out. If you have any questions or need some help, go ahead and comment below, and we'll do our best to help you out.